Day one of the 2023 NFL Draft has officially wrapped up. The Titans did make their one and only pick today at number 11. I know we talked about they might trade up to number 3. Carthon is sneaky. He's making moves. They didn't trade up to number 3. They stayed at 11, and they grabbed Peter Skoronski. I said it in earlier's video. I think this was the safe, smart option. I know a lot of you said it's boring. I wanted a quarterback. I wanted a receiver. Well, Carthon said, patience. That's what he did. So they grabbed an offensive lineman to help bolster that O-line because, again, Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, Trey Lance, whoever, at this point, maybe Hendon Hooker, who knows? Whoever's under center is going to need some protection up front, so he's focusing on that. That is the priority right now. However, you do still need receivers. We'll get into all that in a moment. Make sure you hit the sub button. We got you through day one. Popping out the third video of the night. It's almost midnight here in Dallas, Texas, and we're still coming at you, still in the studio, still working hard. Shout out producer Tex for helping me get this out. But that's exactly why you subscribe, because we're dedicated. We're making sure that you are informed of everything going on, despite what time it is, despite how tired we are. And we will keep doing that throughout the weekend for day 2 and day 3, and even on Sunday when the undrafted free agents are making signings with the Titans. Hit the sub button. Let's grow the channel. Stay informed. All right, Peter Skoronski, who are you? Let's give it another breakdown like we did earlier. From Illinois, he is 22. He's a junior. Stands at 6'4", 313 pounds. Good big boy. Nice guy to have on the O-line. Now, look, Tom Downey, our chat sports expert over here on the NFL and college football and everything else, had Peter Skoronski as the number 1 offensive tackle in this draft class, number 5 player overall. So it was hard to imagine that he was going to fall to 11. We heard that he might end up with the Bears, maybe the Eagles. Nope, fell all the way to 11. We thought we'd end up with Paris Johnson. Peter Skoronski it is. I'm not complaining. Look at his 2021 stats versus his 2022 stats. He's a guy that continues to get better. As you can clearly see, you look at his PFF grades just go up. From 83.8 to 89.5 overall. Pass blocking went from 84.3 to 93. Run blocking went from 78.2 to 81.7. And he lacked on a sack, but it's just 1 sack. His grades went up overall. I think this is a consistent guy, a good guy to get on that front line. I know there's some concerns about his arm length. I don't think, it might be a little bit of a concern, but I think he kind of makes up for it overall. His scouting report here, he had 33 starts at left tackle over 3 years with the Wildcats, but don't let that fool you. He said at the combine, he's a versatile guy. He's willing to play guard. He'll play tackle. He'll play whatever he has to play in order for his team to succeed. Love to hear that from a draft prospect. He moves well. He's got great technique. Like I said, he's consistent. This is a guy who is willing to put in the work as well. He's a team leader. He kind of called the offense, ran the offense over at Northwestern. So you're not only bringing in a guy with a lot of talent, but a guy that can help be a leader for an offensive line that is kind of turning around completely. I won't say rebuilding, because Carthon said we're not rebuilding, we're retooling, but they are rebuilding, whatever. But bringing in a guy like this is a good leader. It'll help the chemistry on the O-line to have a young kid put in the work, help kind of mesh things along. The Athletic's Dan Brugler had this to say on Skoronski. He falls below the arm length threshold to stay at tackle for several NFL teams, blah, blah, blah. We've already talked about that. But he is a technician with impressive balance and strength to reposition his hands, feet, mid-engagement. He's quick. Though he should get a chance to stay outside in the NFL, he is an immediate NFL starter inside at guard and center. I think this is a good move, but before I give you my grade on Peter Skoronski, give me your grade. Head down to the comment section. Let me know what you think of the Titans' first round pick in Peter Skoronski. Give it an A, B, C, D, or F. You better not give it an F. It's not an F move. It's probably an A, maybe a B, C if you so please, but let's be real here. This was a good move, and I'm going to give it an A. Actually, I've got A+ on here. I think it was a good move, and like I said earlier, yes, is it the boring move? Is it not as flashy, not as sexy? Of course, right? You always like to hear the juice around the quarterback trade ups and all that kind of stuff. Well, we've played with that idea long enough. Rand Carthon said, wash your hands. We're done with that BS. Let's be real here. We're going to bolster this O-line so that we can start to build from the ground up here. The O-line is the foundation. You can't have a great quarterback. You can't have great receivers if they don't have protection up front. If they're not creating lanes for their running backs like Derrick Henry, we probably see a lot more production from the King, even though he had a lot of production, if your O-line can do their jobs well. Peter Skoronski is the right move for that. I am in total agreement. That being said, yes, this was the right first step. There are a lot of moves left to make, specifically receiver. Currently, the cap space is at $11.48 million, which is 16th in the league, so you're about the midway mark there. You've got Andre Dillard. They did a lot of work to the defense and even the O-line during the offseason and free agency. Andre Dillard, Azeez Al-Shire, Arden Key, Sean Murphy-Bunting. So your defense is in a pretty good spot, right? Not perfect, but you did a lot of good work. You did lose, however, Nate Davis, Robert Woods, David Long, and DeMarcus Walker. Draft needs here, you're still looking at a gaping hole at wide receiver, okay? This receiver room, I hate to say it, is probably the worst in the league. Granted, you still have Treylon Burks, you've still got Kyle Phillips, but you're crossing your fingers and hoping that they can play in the NFL and be as good as they were in college, right? You didn't get to see them in their rookie year because of the injuries. They didn't have the chance to really show you what they were made of. So yeah, could they completely go off and call us all crazy for saying that the receiver room was trash? Yes. Let's not even leave it up to chance, right? Let's go get somebody because right now, it's not doing it for me, okay? You need receivers. Keep working on that O-line, which they did today, and maybe some safety or cornerback help. But I want to focus on the receivers because it feels like aside from all the quarterback questions I get all the time, it's the receiver talk, right? We talked about maybe grabbing Jackson Smith-Njigba. He went in the first round, no longer an option. We talked about Zay Flowers. He went in the first round, no longer an option. Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, all these guys are off the board, so who's left? Well, you've got a couple guys, but the two I really want to talk about are kind of who have been linked to the Titans in one way or another, even if it was weeks ago, Josh Downs and Jalin Hyatt. Now, Josh Downs, first one on the board here, I'll give you a little rundown. He's very quick, and he is able to create separation with his footwork. He's a good route runner, and we talked about this with JSN. He was a good route runner. He didn't really have the speed aspect that Mike Vrabel was looking for, but he had the route running, and if a guy like that can route run, you want him. Josh Downs is similar in that aspect. He's a very good route runner. He's good at deep balls as well. Now, the only part he struggles with is yards after catch, I would say, and he's a little bit undersized. He doesn't do much on the undersized, and he doesn't do much on the outside. The next receiver I want to talk about, Jalin Hyatt, okay, from Tennessee, paired well with Hendon Hooker. Look, maybe you grab Hooker in the later rounds. He kind of slips down. People forget about him. I don't think that'll happen, but maybe you grab him. You get Jalin Hyatt too. There, you've got a duo there, huh? He's fast, okay? He's fast. Mike Vrabel, Rand Carthon have talked about the speed aspect during the entire offseason. They are looking to get fast. You want fast, you grab Jalin Hyatt. He is speed in a person, okay? If that is what you want, speed, production, this is the guy to go get. Now, he is a little bit skinny, and he struggles a little bit with route running, but take what you can get, right? You're probably at this point going to have to choose between speed or route running because we waited till day 2 to actually even look at wide receivers, and we didn't address that in free agency with any big names that were out there, okay? A couple other guys, Tyler Scott, Marvin Mims, A.T. Perry, Nathaniel Dell, and Jayden Reed. You've still got good options on the board. This is a priority. This is no longer a suggestion, Rand Carthon. This is a priority. You've got to go out and get a receiver. There are no more, oh, well, maybe we should do this first. Nope. You have given enough excuses. I'm not calling Rand Carthon out. This is just in general. There have been enough excuses. There have been enough talks about trading up. And we've already entertained it all. Let's buckle down. Let's fix the problem. Let's address the elephant in the room. something has to be done about this receiver room, and I think it needs to be addressed on day 2 of the NFL draft. Let me know who you want the Titans to go out and grab on day 2 in rounds 2 and 3. If you want to give me some day 3 suggestions as well, feel free to do that. But let me know down in the comment section who you want the Titans to draft next. As always, we appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you subscribe because we will have coverage all weekend. I know I look rough. I am exhausted. I will probably fall asleep as soon as this video is out, but not before the video gets out to you guys. It is my job to make sure that you are entertained as well as informed throughout this NFL draft, and I'll be damned, I'm gonna do it. So make sure you subscribe. We will see y'all soon. Tighten up.